is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin IT podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I am making it. So tonight's episode, we freestyling. So I want to end tonight on a positive note, talking about the games that we're playing. So we're not going to start with what you're playing. We're going to end with what you're playing tonight.
Yeah.
That way we can have some fun. So it's some craziness that happened this week. I don't know which one you want to start with. So I mean, for this one, we're just going to start with the main one that everybody clutching pearls over.
Yeah.
And that is Xbox Division shakeup. Why you should be concerned and why you probably should have saw this coming and stopped with the doggone pearl clutching.
Yeah.
So what's up, Shadow?
What's going on, guys?
So I'm just gonna start this off by while it is interesting that Phil decided to retire tomorrow, effective tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Sarah Bond resigned. I hate to be a broken record, but saw this coming. Look, it ain't like, first of all, Phil Spencer walked into a bad situation.
I'm sure did.
He walked into a bad one. Like, you're not gonna sit there and pretend like Matrick had everything working swimmingly and they was just in the black the whole time.
Yeah.
We're not finna act like that. Some people are having revisionist history. So that's not what happened. He walked into a bad situation. Like, a lot of people like to blame him for all this stuff. Like, a lot of this stuff ain't his fault. Like, I'll give you one example. A lot of people blame him for Bethesda. He had nothing to do with that.
No, he ain't nothing to do with
Microsoft
that.
proper bought ZeniMax, but this was just a part of it. It's like when Disney bought Fox. They didn't want Avatar and Predator and all that. That came with it.
Yeah. Yep.
He had nothing to do with that. People blamed them for that. They were like, yeah, he did it. No, he actually didn't. Microsoft proper bought ZeniMax.
Mm-hmm.
ZeniMax just owned Bethesda, so it came with it.
Yep, it was part of the deal.
It's just part of the deal. So he walked into a bad situation. Now, does that mean I don't hold him responsible for some of this stuff, some decisions made? No, I do. I do hold him responsible for some of the dumb decisions they made. They made a lot of dumb ones. I mean, one of the main dumb ones I thought was you got Rare's catalog and you did nothing with it.
At all, Rare. Just nothing with him.
I'm like, and I'm sorry, Phil Spencer, you're supposed to be a gamer. I thought you was a gamer.
Yeah.
I mean, you love talking about Smash Bros. I thought you was a gamer. So I would have thought you would at least did something with Jeff West Gemini. I thought you would at least did something with Conquer in a good way, since y'all supposed to be mature and all that stuff. Y'all got M-rated mature games. Y'all scared to touch Conquer.
I never played the Battletoads remake. I probably should have played that, but
don't do it.
Apparently it's bad, so
don't do it.
Just don't. So
waste of time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, they have Rare's catalog and did nothing with it. Nothing. So I don't agree with everything he did, but I don't think he's the main villain.
Yeah, the sole reason why all
especially with the stuff that like happened with Tango GameWorks. That wasn't his decision.
No.
But people want to act like it was his decision. I'm like, no, it wasn't his decision.
Yeah.
Because if it was his decision, he would have never went to Japan the week before and told everybody everything was going to be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's also one of the key things that I don't care too much about the gaming community space, because there's a lack of understanding of kind of the tier of everything, right? I can go as a manager myself at my current job and go and tell all of my directs, hey, look, you being let go, after I just told them, hey, can't wait to see your performance next year. Somebody told me I had to come and let you go. I wasn't lying to you a day before. I just got the news right after I talked to you about having to let you go. So yes, I'm with you. Like, Phil plays a part in some of this. We don't know exactly what all he plays a part in, but ultimately you would hope that he's not just a face and he's one that actually has some form of a voice. But I think you both have been singing it from the mountaintops for a while. Like, this isn't really Xbox race to win. It was just more of proving grounds for you not to get let go and for you not to get shut down. So really, you're just fighting to survive, not to win, but to survive. And that's where the problem in itself comes in. But I've also hated the idea of a face of a company, right? Like, because that's who they're going to always gun towards. They did the same crap with Reggie. Like, whenever Reggie was the face of America, I mean, not America, but Nintendo, it was Nintendo of America, but everybody thought he was for all of Nintendo. Like, no, he was just the face of Nintendo of America. And that's where they take their shots. They target the people that they see and not the people that should be targeted. And wisely, those people stay out the way. Like, hey, we make the decisions, we make the money, and we'll let you get beat up. We ain't trying to hear none of that nonsense. But I don't know. And then to see Sarah bounce too, that's gonna be interesting. This is gonna be very interesting to see where this goes.
Like I said, I saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah, do you want to patch your high five, Jay? We it's been what 10 years? I think we've been talking about this.
Yeah.
When Satya took over and we saw what he did to Nokia a month after they bought him, I'm like, yeah, bro, he cold blooded.
Yeah.
He cold blooded. He don't care.
We're gonna bleed you dry until you quit. Basically, is what's happening. They don't,
and I don't care.
Yep. So that moment that you just mentioned, Jack, when you were talking about, hey, hey, I'm here in Japan telling you guys everything's good, and then right after that, you got to do that slow walk back, and you know what? I just lied to y'all.
Yep.
Like, I mean, you're a puppet with no strings. Basically, you're just every once in a while reminded, hey, there is an invisible string you can't see over here. Go do this thing, and you're like, So yeah. All the time when you have a parent company, there's nothing you can do about that. Once they say, hey, look, we're pulling this. Well, what about Xbox? And they just look at you and just say, well, yeah, we could just close all of Xbox. Okay, sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
I suggest you shut up.
Right. Because that's what he wants. He really wants it gone anyway. So like he's been wanting it gone before. Yeah, he came from cloud. He wanted time he became the CEO. He had been looking for a reason to get rid of Xbox for the longest time. So as soon as Bill Gates wasn't a factor anymore, and what's Steve Ballmer, I think was the previous CEO.
Xbox was Bill Gates' baby.
Yeah.
And as soon as Bill Gates got off that board,
that was it.
I'm like, dude, he's been trying. That's why when I know people have whatever you want to think about Game Pass, they was trying to save the game division. They were trying. Yeah. That's what they came up with.
Yeah, that's what we talked about yesterday. Is like Game Pass is like I made the analogy to Wolverine, because like right when it came out, getting that little extra piece was like, okay, this is saving money. But as time went on, it really is hurting them more than it is actually helping them.
Yeah.
Because that money is they still have to put money down for all these games. These games aren't getting any cheaper. And now gamers aren't buying those games. So you got the Netflix situation. So yeah, it's a mess, man. It's unfortunate, but it was like the zombification was moving.
Well, the other thing too is if you had eyes, you should have seen this coming years ago. Like that's like I said, I don't get the pearl clutching. Because I'm like, y'all didn't see this coming? Don't y'all remember when? Oh, my bad. Y'all hate the water. Don't y'all remember when the water told y'all this was going to happen? He told you it was going to happen. But my bad. My memory's a little foggy. I forgot. He was supposed to he should have been fired because he ain't aiming to survive.
The dream for the illusion Xbox fan was, hey, this is a $1 trillion company that can afford it.
Correct. Yeah.
And I'm just like, but if you have somebody that just became the CEO that wants to kill this division, all they have to do is say, show me why you're not making money every quarter. That's it. That's it. It's only so many times you can keep doing that. You can only keep bundling the gaming division with other stuff so many times. And at some point, it's just Xbox. And they're like, it's not making us money. And once they come down to that, that's it. You're like, hey, so they're like, hey, so we made so much in this revenue, blah blah blah, and they're like, so R&D over here, I'm looking at 2.9 billion though.
Exactly.
I need a return on investment from 2015 to 2013. We spent $4.5 billion. along with Sony. Like they totaled for $8 billion together, and like we're not seeing a return on that, even with Connect. Like so, something's got to give here.
Yep.
And yeah, it's only a matter of time. They start absorbing studios and stuff and saying, hey, well, we could be the biggest third-party company, right? You know, they can still say, hey, look, we're the biggest third-party publisher out there because we publish on everything now kind of situation. So where the gaming division doesn't necessarily die, but there's going to be zero reason for bespoke hardware after that. And I think they knew that too. So this is what's happening. They're about to become Sony Image Soft before PlayStation.
Yeah.
And I will say this: the new lady in charge, she came from the cloud AI team.
Yep.
Take everything she say with a grain of salt.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will say this: because I know there's some people that are saying, "Well, she's not a gamer." I'm like, look, everybody ain't got to be a gamer, but you do need to have respect for
the game,
for what you're over, for what your CEO.
Reggie came from Nike.
Yeah. So if you don't have respect for what you're over, you're gonna have I'll just use this analogy. You're gonna have a Marvel situation. Marvel after the Infinity War, at the Infinity Saga left, you saw what happened when they changed them writers, and the writers didn't have respect for the characters that they had. A lot of people fell off because they were like, man, this is stupid. Yeah, because the writers they had, half of them didn't care about the character they were talking about, and you can tell because it bled in the writing of the shows and the movies.
Why is it so bad? I'm not Ryan Coogler. That's effectively it at that point, because he was the only odd man out, really.
And Suzuko, I hope I'm saying your name right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yamaguchi wasn't a gamer, and Howard Lincoln wasn't either. But they respected what they respected the industry they were in. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to be a gamer, but you need to at least respect
enough to do the research and know what the people are looking for. Yeah.
That's why I like, but people got mad at the person that was a gamer. They got mad at Iwata. And Iwata was just like, look, I'm seeing how this is going. Y'all don't understand. This ain't gonna go the way you think.
Right.
And that's why Nintendo said, all right, you know what? Y'all do that.
Yeah, Mouchy didn't want none of that. That was handed to him. He had no choice. And he's like, I don't want to do this. I'm just a shrewd businessman. I don't like gaming kind of thing. He's like, well, but I could buy a baseball team. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Seattle is open. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Bet. So yeah, I'm like, that's the thing. I'm like, look, Nintendo bet on themselves and they won.
Yeah.
That's all you can say. They bet on themselves. They true to what they wanted to do. While everybody was telling them they need to stop it, they need to go third party. Who ain't go third party?
That's
You keep
that is the
exclusive.
funniest.
I heard for 2 generations exclusives don't matter.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden it matters again.
That is the funniest thing to me, like in this whole situation, is like everybody trying to tell Nintendo what Nintendo should do.
Yep.
And they just like, all right, well, all right, cool though. But when I get off this bench though, y'all gonna see what I'm worth.
Yeah.
They're like, you should trade. Matter of fact, you should just open up your trade sale to everybody. See what team wants you, because you know you just can't be stuck on this team. They're like, all right, okay. But when I get off this bench though, you're gonna see what I'm worth. All right.
Just think about it. I'm just saying, think about it, right? It was Atari twice, technically. Sega, Activision attempted, that didn't happen. 3DO, Microsoft and Sony. Microsoft actually tried to buy Nintendo.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah. Just think about what, like, all the people that tried to come at them, and it just wasn't happening. Regardless of whether you had better hardware, you had a bigger game library, any of that kind of stuff. PS1 and PS2 smoked anything Nintendo had going on at that point, as far as library or any of that other kind of stuff had going on. Yeah.
Not to mention Microsoft had more money at that point in time.
Yep.
Exactly.
Microsoft still had more money.
They're like, nah, can't do it.
And Nintendo's like, but we got cash though. We don't believe in that
and they
market
still
cap.
do. They
we
have
don't believe in
cash
fake
on
money.
Like not talking about just assets, talking about like cash in the bank.
Yeah.
Like billions in the bank in cash, not assets. Like a lot of stuff, people like, oh yeah, they have all these assets. Yeah, they have the assets plus the billions.
Yeah. So I'm just curious to see like the ones that are online, because let's be honest, majority of the people that are offline that game don't buy into this nonsense. So when you look at that crowd, Nintendo, they have been playing at their own pace, doing their own thing. And the one key thing that I think a lot of the console war fanboys forget, they were building and establishing a brand.
Yep.
Like there's still people that will call a console a Nintendo, even though it has nothing to do with Nintendo. But at the same time, we just saw something really big happen this past week. And that was Nintendo diving head first into getting to your kids first with Mario.
Yep. They're doing it all over again. Remember Play Nintendo? They just did it all over again.
My daughter loves that Hey Mario app. She is in love with that app, and she's 1 years old. And so you can do it on the app, but I put it on the Switch too. And she just went in and spinning Mario's face, doing the pull. It's literally Mario 64, but better. And she's doing it with her fingers. She's moving them around. You could put the pipe there. You could put stars, and he interacts. And then the smart thing about it too, it has a time limit. And the way that you know it's over, Mario goes to sleep and he tells it goodbye and he fades away. And they'll tell you, hey, if you want to do this again, restart the app. But they also got the cartoon stuff that's getting ready to come up. Of course, they already had the plushies and everything else as far as Lego and everything. Like Mario is a brand. Nintendo is this thing. Like Mario is Jordan and Nintendo is Nike. Like that's what it's about to be right now. So I think that's what a lot of people forget too, because once again, this stuff is not sustainable because the consumer is wishy-washy. They like you one day and then they hate you the next. So they can continue putting out fantastic product, but you know, it is what it is. But ultimately, they're making money from what they're putting out. They don't put out too much money outside of a few games here and there, but they get a nice return. You can make fun of Labo all you want to. You can make fun of Switch Sports and its graphics all you want to. But guess what?
They're getting that money.
They made a profit. They didn't need to move 30 million to make a profit.
Correct. Right. There's no reason why a Horizon, a God of War, Uncharted, a Spider-Man, a Last of Us should not be skyrocketing with as many units as sold, and also how much people clamor for those games, along with them getting shows. For some of them getting shows, not all of them, but even God of War shows getting ready to come up. I think they'll fare a lot better on the cinema front than gaming, which is kind of weird, but ultimately that's just what it is. And I'm interested to see if they show up for these remakes, these trilogies for God of War. Now we don't know when they're coming out. It sounds like they announced it a little too early, but nonetheless, it's one of those things to where Sony's going to sell 100+ million consoles, but their first party will never be at their top 10. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing.
Also, on that note of prices, since people want to talk about, since people have a problem with a $5 upgrade.
I wanted to stay on Xbox.
No, because we gotta hit this one real quick. Just because I'm once again, this goes back to the pearl clutching. All right, y'all do realize that if the Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild upgrades are $9.99 if you don't have NSO. You do realize that, right? You do realize that Sony did charge upgrades of like, what was it, $20 for Last of Us?
And it's $20 for the Nintendo Switch editions too. They're like $80 for if you don't have the game at all.
Yeah. So there's that. Now, if you already have the game for Xenoblade Chronicles, it's $5 for the upgrade.
$5.
Y'all complaining about $5? Y'all really complaining about $5?
Listen, I said it yesterday. If you broke, then just say that. And I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that from the perspective of like get money. I'm just saying like, listen, there'll be times I'll be broke too, but I'm not gonna sit there and complain about how that's a bad idea of them trying to make money off of. And matter of fact, this isn't even like a game that was first out. Okay, I can understand Breath of the Wild. That game has been out for a while. People want to upgrade. It's 153 million units out there. Everybody and their mama got Breath of the Wild. Right. Everybody and their mama got Tears of the Kingdom. Everybody and their mama and their grandma and their cousin got New Horizons. So like I understand when it comes to the upgrades to that, but like $5, Like if you ain't had that money
Yeah.
that day, promise you I can get you to $5. I promise you.
Yeah,
I promise you I can pass you the
And,
$5.
and the sad thing about it is you have people that are straight up, and I hate when people do this. I hate when people try to virtue post. Like,
Mhm.
yes, I'm making a stand of over $5.
Over
Right.
$5.
You can't even fill up your tank of gas with $5. What are you
Right.
sit up and doing?
Who else is
Mad
gonna
about
stand with me?
$5, bruh.
Stand with
So-
me on no $5.
My
Like,
problem
nah,
with that
bruh.
is
You on your own on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
my problem with that is this, right? I'm looking at the sales numbers right now. There might be 1 million copies of this game over 3 platforms at this point.
Right.
Just 1 million. Why are there so many vocal people online talking about this game and they ain't spending no money on it? And that's what's bothering me the most. I'm like, this game ain't even really sold that much for y'all to be complaining the way y'all
You be
complaining.
and I'm talking about saying it with your whole chest.
Yeah.
Right.
And here's my other thing, right? If you don't want to spend the $5, there's still an upgrade there for free. If you got a Switch 2, it's damn near a lot 30 frames per second. And it upscales to whatever resolution. Yeah. If you're playing in 4K, it doesn't look as good as the Switch 2 edition does, but it does at least attempt to upscale it to your TV properly versus trying to play it on Switch like that. So like you could just play the free upgrade by playing it on Switch 2 if you don't want to pay for the $5 one. I don't get it. And people coming up with these weird Twitter trolls searching for basically doing a Twitter search of, hey, Grok, find me a tweet that says they don't like the parts of the update or whatever, right? They find a thread and they just keep posting everything they posted in that thread. And I'm like, the person that posted the things they're complaining about in that thread conceded that the game is okay. And they said maybe they shouldn't be complaining about the things they're complaining about because they didn't have the time to recode the entire game. It's not a remake. So you're not going to see brand new assets or changes to things like depth of field. Like none of that stuff's going to happen.
And you shouldn't.
2015 code, bro. 2015 code, and you're expecting an overhaul for $5. For $5
in under a year. In under a year.
One of the most ambitious Wii U games ever made. And like one of the largest land masses in gaming ever made, and you want a full rewrite?
Of course,
$5.
Complain about pop in and all that
stuff. 4, please. Also, do 2 and 3. Also, did you see like the list of some of these people?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, y'all wilding.
But here's another weird thing too, and it happens a lot on social media. Nintendo has companies. They have companies that are under them or studios that are under them. That does not mean that everybody operates the same way. Right. If Pokemon Company wants to price something different from what Monolith Soft wants to price, then that's just what it is. Yeah. It's not going to be the same across the board. Doing these weird comparisons for these other companies like a Capcom or a Sega, whoever that gives you like a free update or whatever, trust me, they got to do it. They need to give you that free update because you probably ain't touched the game. But
probably didn't buy it anyway.
They probably didn't buy it anyway. But there's a reason why Nintendo is saying, hey, look, everything is going to be variable pricing. Like there was nothing set. I saw somebody complain about like, well, I want something just to be straightforward. Not everything is going to get the same thing. So it can't be straightforward like that. So ultimately, if I come to you, and we were talking about this last night, Sandstorm, to where, yes, you got Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom updates on NSO. Why? Because the system was brand new. They knew you had them games and they needed you to do NSO. So guess what? They found a way to entice you to get NSO.
Right.
That's just what it was. Now, granted, when you got the Switch 2, they gave you free, 3 months or something like that?
Yeah.
But
even if you didn't, it was only $10.
It was only $10. But the thing is, they needed a way to wrap you into it. Now, when you look at this one, as we stated, this isn't something that was on the Switch or the Switch 2. This is coming from the Wii U. And they took the time to not only get it put on the Switch, but then also find a way to do something with the Switch 2 version. There's probably a reason why we saw it in the code well before we got this update. It was getting to the point where I was about to start the game back up. I'm like, you know what? Maybe they just put it in there and forgot to take it out.
Yeah, because they did do that for free for some other games. They did it for Odyssey and a couple other games. So you just boot it up and here you go for the free stream. So yeah.
It's hit or miss. You know, Monolith Soft is not the same as the Mario team, not the same as any other team. Like
They're
they're
not
going to
retro.
determine. No, they're not retro.
They're not a Game Freak. They're not. Yeah,
and I would imagine this.
Guys.
I would imagine this right here took a lot of work because they already expressed that it took a lot of work to even get it from the Wii U. Nevertheless, they have it run at 64K. Like
and they didn't really want to do it.
You can tell they didn't want to do it, but it's one of those things that it just kind of comes with the territory. But look, like I said, $5 is $5. I think it changes the game drastically. It's the same thing that it did for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for me. I already beat Breath of the Wild. I stopped like midway through Tears of the Kingdom. But when you turn those games on and see how smooth they running, it's like goodness gracious.
And then the app that they gave with it with the Zelda notes. Yeah.
I mean that very thing on the Xbox side. That's what stopped me from finishing Gears 5. Because when you get to the desert, that game gets the chugging. And so that's why I was so thankful when the new consoles came out. Then it ran smooth, no problem, no issue. But on the Xbox One, or even not the one, but the Series S, and I think also the One, that game runs rough. So that's why I was like, okay, cool. I love updates like that. So if I got to pay $5, that's fine. I don't lose no sleep behind that. And then you can see
get a number one for $5 no more.
No, you can get a lot of stuff for $5 no more. So it's like it's crazy, man. But I mean, I enjoy it. But my thing is, like, I get it. Have your critiques about things, but don't just mindlessly say like, oh, this is a stupid upgrade, especially when you haven't even played the game or purchased it. You're just doing this YouTube watching crap where stuff is compressed, and you're not gonna get the feel or enjoy the game anyway.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I find it odd and disingenuous with a lot of people.
Yeah,
especially on different social media, because it ain't just Twitter. It's a lot of places. And you're like, dude, you can tell half the people didn't play the game.
It's click season.
Yeah, and you can tell Rent do.
So let me just address this first, right? All of the things that were fixed or upgraded from just going from Wii U to Switch, right? So first of all, for people that I don't know, maybe they don't know how to use the Wii U gamepad, right? They figured out a way to transplant that to a separate menu, right? And they changed asset tracking and your tracking within menus and quests and stuff like that to be faster for you to be able to get through certain missions. They did all that pacing stuff for you. They upgraded the UI. They made sure that, because Wii U was pretty bad, because you're talking about 720p and on a bigger screen, the text was really small. They upgraded all that kind of stuff. They updated the heartbeat of how combat flows. They gave you extra cooldowns for doing different types of stuff. They basically allowed you to bake in your cooldown so you can repeatedly do certain things or whatever to basically make combat more fun, right? They gave you more time for overdrive as well. So like the default counter went from like 10 to 15 seconds to 20. So all those kind of things got added and updated the game and stuff like that, and made sure certain parts of quests or whatever are more understandable. Because some things they did in there, like they didn't give you any hint whatsoever. You just happen to stumble upon the answer. A lot of that stuff, they fixed a lot of that stuff too. The load times are way faster, and these are all things that got exponentially. They got exponentially better on just the free upgrade just by running on Switch 2. So load times, even though load times were almost, you didn't really have to worry about them because the whole game was in RAM. So unless you're fast traveling, you didn't have to worry about load times. Well, now the fast travel load times are faster, and they're significantly faster now in the Switch 2 edition. So I just don't, $5? I don't, like, what are we talking
about?
They wanted it to be free.
Like the only game off the top of my head I could think right now that has a bigger landmass is Just Cause 2. And you're complaining because it's $5 to make this game look pretty in 4K or 1440p or what have you. I don't get it. Oh, well, it has the AI upscaling is bad. I'm like, first of all, you gotta know the difference between AI upscaling and anti-aliasing.
Exactly.
You got no difference between the two. And if it only happens during handheld mode and not really that much in dock mode, like, what are we talking about? I love this game. This is my favorite game of the franchise. Like, you don't get to tell me. Like, you who has never fought a Telethia in your fucking life in any of the games on this platform come to tell me how this game is bad and I'm playing it the wrong way. Man, get out. Like, I can't even, man. That's all I gotta say about that. But
it's hard to take people serious. That's what I'm saying.
Nah,
To me, it's fake outrage. It's fake pearl clutching. It's fake. I'm standing on. You're not standing on nothing. You're not. Because
you don't represent
your
us.
argument don't make sense.
So the other thing, right? The worst version of Killer Instinct, my other favorite game, right, is on Xbox One. I will sit down and play that shit on the base Xbox One right now in my office, and I'll play all of the half 45 to 60 frames per second of that game because I like the game. It doesn't matter to me what format it's in. Do I want to play it in 4K and 60 frames per second, stuff like that? I got a Series X for that, and I got a PC for that if I want to, right? But I don't have to because I like the game. It doesn't matter how kind of situation. And other people will just, you got the brokest people on the internet telling you these things, and I'm like, you don't even have the game we're talking about
at all.
Yeah. Dude, my favorite game of all time runs in 15 frames a second.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
Straight
mine
up
definitely.
OT.
Yeah, mine got bad frame pacing.
Yeah.
Man.
It
the perfect dark death matches.
And I play it once a year.
Yep.
So right now I'm in the Shadow Temple. Need to go on to finish that. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, I play it once a year. That's why I've always laughed when I hear people say, I can tell the difference between 30 and 60 frames a second. No, you can't.
I mean,
no, you can't. And the reason I can tell people to be lying, one game, Nier Automata.
Yeah.
2017.
Yep.
People swore up and down. That was 1080p, 60 frames a second. When it comes out on Switch, come to find out, not only was it not in 60 frames a second consistently, it was more like
1080p.
30. It was more like 25 to 30 frames a second. It was 60 at 900p for Switch.
Yep.
That's how I know people do not know when somebody tells you, "Oh, I can tell with my naked eye the difference between 30 and 60." They're lying.
Yep.
They're lying. Unless you, that's why I don't get mad at, like, there's a channel, a Switch Up. They actually put the thing on there. They like, look, you can see what we talking about. I ain't telling you I can see with my eyes. Here's what the tool is saying.
Yeah.
The tool is saying this is getting dips between 30 and 40.
And do with that what you will. Like, I mean, you know, because the average person, like, one of my favorite action games is Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. Like, I like the fact that towards the end of that game, the frame rate tanks because they're literally throwing everything at the engine.
They
and
threw
it's so
everything
fun.
at you.
It's so fun at that point because you have so many abilities. You're able to do so much towards that end boss. Like, it's, I don't know how to explain it, but if you know how to play it, just like when the frame rate drops in the Pragmata demo, right? You're not you don't have time to see that because you're playing. And you don't care whether or not that the frame rate is dropping because some special effects started opening up or whatever. You're too busy trying to hurry up and move this cursor throughout the thing. So you, like, what are we talking about? Like, that doesn't kill the experience at all. If anything, it's better for you because you're able to accurately do the thing in time.
I mean, but Bayonetta did it.
Exactly.
Right.
Devil May Cry did it.
And if you just want it 60 frames a second all the time, then it's Bayonetta too. But people don't want to go there.
But people don't want to talk about that. They don't want to have that conversation.
Because Bayonetta 2 only exists one place.
Yeah. So, and that's why I'm like, because I've heard people I'm friends with say, "Oh, I can't play a game that's not 60 frames a second." I'm like, dude, then you're not playing half the game that come out.
Yeah, you're really not.
You're not.
Because hate to tell you, but it's still not a standard.
It
is not a standard.
Because the engine will dictate. Like, that's just how it is.
I mean, if y'all want to play the Luminous engine,
I'm just gonna put it this way: all y'all people that say anything under 60 frames per second is unplayable, GTA 6 is about to come out.
It sure is.
And I'm gonna see how many people are gonna sit up there.
And it better be the worst selling one. It's unplayable.
See how many people pretend then.
It's
your
gotta
base
be the worst
PS5.
selling.
It's so great that I don't even care.
Right. The graphics made up for the frame rate.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Oh, do you see what it's doing? Of course, it's not running at 60.
Right.
So that's the goalpost moving in real time. You got to love this.
But you said you can't play nothing that's not at 60 frames because it hurts your eyes.
Right.
It makes you sick.
It'll turn into But does Nintendo have the game?
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
course,
yeah,
because it can't run this at all.
So it's
But
about
hold on.
companies.
Hold on. If you can't watch nothing that's in 6 frames a second, why you keep telling me about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
What?
That's runs at 24.
But it's so low resolution, man. You played all the way through Returnal. Don't talk to me. It's 4K, it's 8K on the box, and you played that bitch in 1080p.
Yes.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face, man. I don't want to hear it. Like, it's just so weird to me.
Yeah, that's why I take my hat off to you and Andre. Like, I'll let y'all have at it with them clowns because I don't buy into it because they don't want to know. They don't want to have a genuine conversation. They just want to just yell and be wrong loudly. But
exactly,
it is what it is, man. That's why it's just this community, bro.
But be quick to tell you how great the PSP is in all of its sub 510p glory.
Yeah. I don't take nobody serious with that. Like, I don't take them serious at all.
But it has an OLED screen, guys. I'm like,
cool.
Refresh rate on that thing slower than the Switch 2.
I know. And don't get me wrong, I like my PSP, but I wasn't finna lie about it.
Right.
Yeah. It's great. I would love to finish repairing mine, but it's great. It's a wonderful system. I just, I killed the disk drive because I played Tekken too much. So
I played Gravity Rush too much on mine. Oh, and I was watching the Avid Children movie on it.
Oh, Avid Children, yeah. A lot of replays on that
one. All right, so the last bit of bad news I want to talk about, the Blue Point Studio closing. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not shocked.
Nah,
I'm not. Once again, this is another situation where you had to see this coming.
Sony closing studios of games that do well.
Yeah,
that's the weird part.
It's been a pattern.
Yeah.
Not studios that they lost money with. No, they keep them running.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ones that actually doing well. The ones that they closing, which
that's crazy.
Don't make sense.
But once
again, you kind of had to see this coming.
They're moving to that whole what do they call it? Games as a service.
Yeah, games
lineup.
Yeah,
and they're like, yeah, y'all made some great single player games,
but
I don't see any multiplayer. Where's the hand holding at? Where's the team building? Where's the structure? I don't see any of that anywhere in this game. You know what? Go to lunch. And then they go to lunch.
Don't come back.
And don't come back. Take an extended break.
Yeah,
basically.
This is their Tango Gameworks moment for them.
Yeah,
right now. Basically, they're like, "Ooh, y'all did good. Oh, critical acclaim. Bye."
Right.
That's so weird. But it really starts showing like the way Sony is, right? Like Sony gets all the praise for doing everything the right way. Because I think somebody posted the other day, was like, "Oh, they only shut down one studio." I'm like, "One?" Like y'all ain't been tracking.
Wait, what?
Right.
But they shut it down.
One this week. That's what.
One this week, but it really ain't been one studio. But that's the thing with Sony. Like we've talked about the future of gaming in its entirety, and we never know what the true future of Sony is because Sony always plays copycat. Like they don't ever go and just say, "All right, cool, this is what we're doing," and then it's kind of like a generational change or a game changer for everybody. It's not. They never do it. So that's why it didn't surprise me that they were closing the studio. But at the same time, I think a lot of their fan base is going to be very confused and or upset that they're probably going to do the same exact thing that Microsoft's going to do with their console. And I think that also
exactly what's happening.
But I also think that's doing part why this pushback is happening too. Because a lot of people keep saying that is RAM, in which that does play a part as far as the RAM is concerned. But I think they're pivoting. They're going to say, you know what? Yes, we were going to come out with a traditional console, but kind of saw the writing on the wall there, my friend. We need something that's going to last for a couple of years, not 10, but that's going to last for a couple of years because we can't just keep doing the next iteration anymore. Like the scene is changing too much. So yes, they're going to drop another console, but it's probably going to be the console PC hybrid, similar to your Steam Deck and this next Xbox, and they're going to be around for a long freaking time.
And prepare for Nintendo fans to be like, see, told y'all, Let's hear let's hear the excuses. Let's hear the excuses. Let's hear you talk about how we need a dedicated home console and that these consoles could never catch up graphically with anything else. But and then talk about how move the goalposts. Make sure you move the goalposts and be like, but Sony did it better though. Sony did it way better, and the Switch 2 can't compete with anything the next PlayStation has. Let's talk about that. Oh, a matter of fact, when we on that subject, make sure you talk about the wattage too, because we've been talking about the wattage and how you can't make none of these games with the wattage. You now it's time to jump on that wattage train. Oh, the Sony got the wattages too. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's gonna be the new thing now. I hope y'all know that. Realize that we're not gonna be talking about how great the graphics anymber. It's gonna be the wattage.
Now it's about that. Now we finally listening to me from Wii U days. It's like Wii U was like 45 watts and like 360 and PS3 were like over 250 a piece.
That's
like
disgusting.
And Wii U was significantly better than both of those platforms. So like, what do we even? I don't even know what we talking about. So I'm trying to think whether I'm looking now for the last known Nintendo studio that was closed by Nintendo.
That's good question. Yeah.
The only one I could think of is probably In Space, but I think In Space was closed because they tried into something. I think they tried to go third party and they didn't do good, which is the same way like Left Field did the same thing too, because they started making all the Dave Mirra games and left Nintendo, and it just they tried to make a shooter after that. It didn't do good and they closed. So, but In Space, I believe, was the last one, if I'm not mistaken. That was Dan O'Leary's company. I'm trying to figure out when they closed, when they went defunct. They closed. Said they went defunct March 29, 2016, but I'm trying to figure out if Nintendo killed them.
Yeah. Royal Hustler, you're correct. That's what's about to happen. That PlayStation Switch, about to pop, boy.
Right.
Because that handheld's still coming. That handheld's still coming. And what's is going to be like what the Steam Deck's going to be to the Steam machine. It's gonna exist, but at the same time, the big claim to fame is you can remote play or stream from that main console.
From the Steam machine, or are you talking about?
I'm talking about what PlayStation's handheld is going to end up doing. Similar to like how the Steam Deck, what they're trying to get you to do is say, okay, the Steam Deck and also the Steam frame, while they can run their own separate thing because they have the OS on their device. The big thing is if you want to play those bigger games, stream from that Steam engine. So that way you can get more power out
picture
of it.
mode.
Yep. And I think that's what PlayStation is going to end up doing with that handheld. To where it's like, we have a low power situation to where you can play the games, but if you want them better, what you can do is just stream it from your PS6 and call it a day.
But I thought Wii U was a failure.
Hey, look, people say a lot of stupid stuff, but
I mean, just ask who is it? Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty, Chiesa McDonald, Damian Hayfield, Brian Altano.
Michael you said Packer, it right, Hayfield.
Jeff
you said it right.
Hayfield?
No, I'm just ask them. I mean, they were the ones that was pushing it.
I think Keza ended up being forced to write a really good documentary about Nintendo not too long ago. I forgot who she wrote it for.
She was one of the main ones.
Yeah,
she was one of the main ones. That's what I'm saying.
I saw that article and I rolled my eyes. I was like, "Oh, how the mighty!" It's funny
how they lost a whole bunch of videos.
Yeah, they're all gone. They're all gone. Like in the podcast too. Yep. They're no longer on Apple Podcasts anymore. You got to go find the individual MP3s off of IGN's page. Everything from 2011 to 2012 is gone.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yep. Matter of fact, it's right after Yoshida called them fanboys. It's right after that.
Oh, and they did try to go third party. They did Geist. It was originally an Xbox game. They moved it to GameCube, right? And then they tried to do Sword Coast Legends, and that was their last failure as a third party. That's what In Space tried to do. So they just didn't have. They needed Nintendo, I guess, because as soon as they don't develop for Nintendo, they all fold. They all fold.
Something.
You know why that is?
Like,
yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was Silicon Knights, but you know why that is? Is because they like they're like babies, always crying and screaming.
and I'm looking like Dennis Dyer just put out a couple of like podcast videos not too long ago. He can't do them without mentioning his time at Nintendo.
Yeah.
I imagine
he has to mention them.
There was a whole piece of him talking about how everybody was afraid of
a Treehouse.
Yeah.
I saw that
like,
video.
That's hilarious.
But it's true. Like Treehouse. That was the thing. So like, if you're submitting a game to Nintendo, they don't care. They'll look like, oh, this game is bad. No, you're not even if you're a third party game. It did not meet. It did not meet. And so what they'll say is, they'll turn around if they're a publisher, they'll come out, oh, well, our game just can't run, blah, blah, blah. Like, no.
And that wasn't the case.
Seal of quality, bro.
Yeah.
It's funny because I wonder how often Nintendo like sees some of these replies on the thing and they like, man.
They could tell you. If they could say, like the only time I think it was actually recognized was Iwata, and his response was, there's a large how can I say this? There's a large what would you say that? Like you can't say zeitgeist, right? Because that's not something that he would say. But there's an impression that Wii U is not a next generation platform. They can't do these things. It is our job to create games to show and prove what we can. Like they're not depending on third party. They said we as Nintendo have to show, and that was his thing from there on. And I was like, okay.
Wasn't that right after that? Harada, they tried to get Harada to talk bad about the Wii U. Like, no, the Wii U is actually easy to develop for.
Yeah,
and but do you remember? Don't you remember these? We hear the CPU is not not
he was like, that's not true. And then they tried that with Hideki Kami. Like, that's not true.
Yeah,
and the Orochi Warriors hyper developer too. Once they actually asked him in Japanese and not English, and he needed a translator, he's like,
crazy.
"Yeah, we don't really understand this CPU yet. We'll dig into it and we'll understand the intrinsics and know what to do from there."
Yeah,
that was the rest of the interview like that, and then nobody wanted that update anymore, so nobody updated the story. I think like one outlet updated the story, and that was it.
Yeah, and that's when Iwata was like, "All right, bet."
Hey, how childish do you have to be? How childish do you have to be?
The Wii U CPU is weak. Here comes Breath of the Wild. We'll show you how Havoc works on this weak CPU.
Dude, the funniest thing I ever seen was that first direct, and Iwata came out. It was like, you know what? We're just gonna give the information direct to y'all.
Yep.
And IGN got pissed because they had no access. So none of that stuff.
Does Nintendo use dated hardware? Yes. Do they know
everybody
what
else?
The fuck
I'm about to say, who doesn't?
I'm like, don't they design it in a very specific way so all the flaws that you would see of using it in, say, a desktop computer are no longer there anymore? That's exactly what they do. And so they take away all the frustration that you would have for having that hardware in a desktop or another dedicated gaming device that somebody else would make, and they take all that stuff away. They're like, hey, well, if I had this on here, it would have issues loading so and so and so and so. Let's bake that in. Oh, well, this GPU has this issue interpolating that. Let's make an interpolator directly on the GPU so it doesn't have to work. It doesn't have to do anything with that. Like those are things that Nintendo hardware engineers, like, they still pay engineers to make this stuff. They know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing. So they put it all in hardware and make it fixed function. So you don't have to deal with some of the stuff that these other people are talking about on general purpose GPUs throwing all these shaders at. They're like, why would the Wii U need these shaders to build this thing if it has it in hardware? Those are the things that were happening at the time, and those conversations weren't happening. And now that Nintendo has a more general purpose thing or whatever, now they're like, oh, well, it doesn't have the T-flops and all that. And Nintendo's like, we're not drawing in 4K. Why do we need that?
It's more efficient.
We got AI upscaling. We can draw it in 540p and it looks just as good on your 4K screen. Like, come on.
They made it more efficient, and people don't understand that.
But that's man. I have for a long time, I've been seeing on the sidelines a lot of these armchair developers make these conversations and they say these things, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool that you need this pixel shader for this and that or whatever in an ordinary scenario. But if you're developing this game in this SDK, in this environment, that's not a thing. Too many times we've heard developers say, we are surprised how quick it is for us to get our games up and running. Like, we've heard that way too many times. So obviously something they're doing is right when they're designing the hardware. And bare minimum, if it's not the hardware, it's at least the IDE and the SDK that they're sitting in front of. Obviously, whatever it is they're doing makes whatever that hardware, whatever, transparent to them. And they're just like, I just see code running and it works for me. So there was a guy talking about they just ported one of their games. He was like literally working on it, and he had to take the video down because he was like, look how easy I got this.
Yeah, I saw that.
They had to take the video down last week. Like, he's like literally was working on it while he was playing the build. So come on, man. Obviously they got it right. So I don't understand why people try to say it was behind the times. I'm like, you're bragging about a 2019 chipset that you're still playing right now in 2026, but you're mad at Nintendo for making one in 2021.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
What do we? I don't know. This is weird, but I guess everything operates from Sony always wins. If you operate from that as the conclusion and you work backwards, it kind of.
Yep.
I guess,
you gotta think about it. You gotta really dive into it and understand that if you don't have the mindset when you're making a Nintendo game that Sony is winning, then you're never gonna win. You're never gonna make anything worth the time.
Sony always wins, baby.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you're not starting off on Sony hardware, then what are you doing?
Right. My thing is, if Sony was truly winning, like we said, software would be selling a lot more, not just third party. First party software would be selling a lot more. And on top of that, you would actually be getting a little bit more from Sony.
They wouldn't have gave up they wouldn't have let their exclusive lapse. Neither.
Exactly. Because I mean, you think about all of the IPs we've had, let's say between the 1 and the 5, right? And majority of those have either gone multi-plat or they just don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Like if Sony was really bringing in and doing right by these companies and making sure that the fan base is going to buy whatever, we would not be talking about Square Enix having a redemption on the Switch right now.
Right.
That's pretty much what's happening.
That's what's happening. The multi-plat conversation that they're giving, it's not due to Xbox, them not selling on Xbox. It's due to them not selling as well as they should on Sony. Because a lot of these fanboys do not buy games. They genuinely do not buy games. And for anybody complaining about Game Pass, how many of those PSN games have you downloaded that will be gone the moment you stop paying for it? Come on.
I mean, when would you ever have thought Final Fantasy VII of anything coming to a Nintendo platform?
No, because I just didn't think it would ever happen. Like not even close.
Not. And now they're talking about day and date.
Yeah,
for the third one.
But the funny part too is you got the same crowd. Like, oh, wait until GTA 6 comes out. That's not a Sony exclusive. Like,
that's not. Yeah.
When you got to count on the third-party game to come and save your console, you have a problem.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's not good. You don't know that's going to save your console because Spider-Man damn sure didn't.
Surely didn't. And Wolverine ain't going to do it either.
And God of War didn't either.
I'm pretty sure Wolverine going to be cool, but it ain't saving anything.
No. And that's the messed up part. I don't think people really understand. They want to brag, but they ain't buying them. Like, if you ain't buying it, and once again, if your game costs too much, I mean, I'll put it like this: Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, they was not expecting to sell 1.5 million.
I was just surprised Nintendo published it. That's why
I'm not because they weren't getting Avengers. Thank God they didn't, because that game sucked. But they weren't getting Avengers, so I'm like, yeah, give them that. And guess what? They made hella profit because they weren't. It didn't cost that much to make, and they sold over 1 million units.
Yeah, that's a W.
That's a W.
Because those games don't have costs that big anymore, and for the licensing, it wasn't that big of a deal.
No.
It was the X-Men license. It wasn't the individual characters license. So
Yeah, so I'm sitting up here like, yeah, guess who won that one? It wasn't Marvel's Avengers.
It definitely wasn't Marvel's Avengers.
lost
So-
leader right there.
And then people got so mad, they were like, well, it's not fair that they locked it on the Switch. Yeah, it is. Nintendo.
You got your game.
You're right.
You got your game. We
You
got ours.
got yours. Support it. Oh, you don't want to? Why you don't want to support it?
Right. That's some
Right
that's some
then.
little kids talking about, but I want to play what he got.
Yeah, baby.
Right.
All
Right.
right, guys. So before we get out of here, let's end this on a bright note. So, what you been playing now? Me personally, I did jump into Yeast 10 Proud Nordics because I did pick that up, and yeah, I like the upgrades they did to it.
Okay.
I do like the upgrades they did to it. See, I didn't have a problem on the Switch version.
Okay.
Some people trying to say they were. I never had a problem. It always played smooth for me. So that's just me. But yeah, it does play. It looks a little crisper. It plays just as well as it did on the Switch 1, in my opinion. So there's that. Y'all know I played Xenoblade Chronicles X Switch 2 edition because I wanted to test it out and see how everything was looking. Hey, is it Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom upgrade? No, but it's fun. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I don't see what the problem is. I honestly don't see what the problem is with that. What else did I play? I played something else, and now it's escaping me. Oh yeah, Doom Dark Ages. I got back into that.
Oh yeah, Doom.
Yeah, I had to get back into that. Had to get back into my Jon Snow Slayer.
You playing Dragon Quest, right?
Oh yeah, Dragon Quest 7 reimagined. I'll say this. I'm kind of mad at Square Enix because y'all could have did that with Grandia 2. Y'all could have did that with Grandia 2. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to do all these reimagine. Reimagine that one. That's my favorite one. Reimagine that one. But I'm actually having fun with Dragon Quest 7. Because I never played it.
Oh, okay.
I thought I did. I played 8. 8 was
okay.
I didn't play 7. So this is my first time going through it, and I'm having fun.
Okay.
7 was Japan only, wasn't it? If I'm not
Until it
mistaken.
came to the 3DS.
Yeah.
It was on the
I don't
3DS.
think anybody bought it on 3DS.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did. Because at the time, I was like, I want 8. I don't want 7. I want 8. I want the one I played. But reimagine. And I did read a rumor that they're redoing Chrono Trigger like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, so y'all gonna redo Chrono? But because at first I read it was gonna be HD 2D. But then I read that it's supposed to be like reimagined. So I'm like, okay.
I'm okay either way, honestly.
Interesting. But yeah, if they're gonna do it like reimagined, do it like reimagined. Because
I'm actually hyped for that because a lot of people don't know. I tell people this every time. That game is actually loosely based off the Bible. So like I'm all over that.
Which one?
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm scared for it to come out, man. I am. This is one of those things to where it gets such a great name, such a critically acclaimed name, that now you're introducing it to these snobby, ungrateful individuals, and they're gonna crap on the name.
Yeah,
the game was good, but it was running at 2K when it was targeted for 4K.
Yeah.
I'll say this.
I'm gonna say you got us too, right? Because then not us, but people of our generation that will say, well, the remake will never live up to the original. And I'm
I'll say
fun
this.
playing it, or
I thought that about Super Mario RPG. That remake they did, that remake was better than the original, in my opinion.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'll put it like that. That's
bold.
There was another one that they did that they put it in HD 2D. Live Alive.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I understand where people coming from, but I also want to sit up and say, I'm like, yeah, but we was dealing with a different time frame and a completely different system. So yeah, some of these are working. They're better.
Yeah.
modernized they are better. So I'm looking forward to Chrono Trigger. Because I want to say, did I ever beat it? I don't think I ever beat it.
I know I never beat it. Yeah.
I don't think I ever beat it. I think I got close to beating it, but I never did.
5 of the 7 endings, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a bunch of endings.
It's a bunch of endings. I think I got like 5 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went through that game quite a bit. It's interesting because not only are there endings, they're epilogues. So they're closing out stories based on certain things you did during the playthrough, and you got to go through, beat the game, then find out what happens after that. So it's a lot.
Yeah. So that's what I've been playing. So Jack, I know there was a game you want to talk about.
Yes. The one that I said, I've never, and people can correct me if I'm wrong. I pay attention to a lot of reviews, but I can forget some. I'm an old man.
Pop filter up. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I'm an old man. So I've never seen so many reviewers get a video game review wrong. And then also the people that play the game agree that the reviewers got it wrong. Usually it's like, oh no, the reviewer was right. This is this, blah 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 blah. Mario Tennis Fever. This, I don't know what game they played. I don't know what they played. They just dropped the ball. They dropped the ball completely on this one. So one of the key things you'll see from a lot of reviews is the adventure mode. That's all they harp on. Adventure mode. Yes, the adventure mode is bare bones. I also need people to expand their vocabulary. Not everything is bummy. Not everything is a complete waste. Not everything is just the worst thing you've ever played. It's bare bones. Like, if you're going to put adventure mode in the title, don't make it just a tutorial. That's essentially what this was. It was just a tutorial. You leveling up Baby Mario means absolutely nothing. So it's just, I don't know why they did it, but it is what it is. But if you step away from adventure mode and then you look at the rest of the game that's offered, this game is by far the best sports Mario game that Camelot and Nintendo have made. This game is top notch. They got it from an arcade standpoint. They got it from a strategic standpoint. They got it from, having a good roster, having the different fever rackets was a great feel. Having the mixed game modes where you have like the pinball game mode, which is nuts, and then also having like the Wonder Seed game modes, the Piranha Plant game mode, to where the Piranha Plants can expand the actual stage itself. How fast the game loads! Like, literally, I can press press the game right now, and within like a second, I'm at the title screen. That game is quick, like it's stupid quick. The only downsides I would ever say to the game outside the adventure mode is there are some glitches in there that just randomly pop up from time to time. Like, I've only seen 2 myself, but I've also seen some people post some videos to where like the court was glitching a little bit. But outside of that, I mean, it's a solid game. The online is solid. I'm able to get into matches. The only time you ever see maybe some bad connections is if it's on the other person's end, because I have mine wired in my Wi-Fi. I'm in a Wi-Fi 7 mesh system, so it ain't mine. So it's one of those things to where it's one of those things to where you'll run into some people here and there. But when you get online, you better be ready. Like, you better be ready to rock and roll for sure. I would say definitely make sure that you've unlocked all of the rackets and make sure that you've unlocked all characters. It's not hard to do. It really doesn't take long. I think between me and my kids playing together, we knocked out those 100 matches in no time. And 100 matches pretty much gets you almost everybody. And then some you unlock by doing some of the challenges, some of the skill challenges. And so once you do everything, you get all the characters and you have all the rackets. And you have to go through adventure mode to get like 4 or 5, because there's like 4 or 5 of them that are exclusive to the adventure mode. But when you get everything and you go online, man, them some of the craziest and most fun games you will ever play. Man, this crazy. I mean, like, from the time of me getting into my first match, I was like, okay, I'm going in there with Bowser, and I had the fire racket, right? So the only reason why I had Bowser is because I had just got murked by somebody. I had Diddy, because I was like, okay, Diddy got the speed, Diddy got some power, I can get him like a nice little racket, whatever. and people took advantage of Bowser. And for every character, they have like a description. Not everybody has like this special description, but some do. So, like for example, if you pick Bowser, they'll tell you if you use his top spin, use the power top spin, it has the ability to knock people back. And then the same thing like with Dry Bone Bowser, he has a flat that's super strong too. And then PD Piranha has the same thing, like a flat that does it. And then you think about Boo has a dumb curve. Like that curve is so freaking annoying. It's ridiculous. Him and Rosalina, that Rosalina can lob the ball and it'll go in the air outside the freaking court and then come back in and land at a certain angle. This is nuts. But the reason why I picked Bowser is because when I had Diddy, the person I was playing against, he just kept hitting the top spin power and it kept knocking me back and knocking me back and knocking me back because Diddy doesn't have any power like that. He's a smaller character. And once he got me all the way off the court, he hits a drop shot. There's no amount of speed that's going to catch up with that other than you using the Golden Rush racket. But that's about it. So I was like, oh, okay. So this is some strategy to it. So then I went and I got Bowser, end up playing it against Rosalina. All she did was send it to the edge of the court every time. And Bowser big behind can't catch those balls like that.
No,
he can't catch them. He can't get to them. So I was like, dang, she got me. Like she gave me the business. She got me. But there's definitely, strategy that goes with this game. There's already been people that feel like things are OP, but in reality, you just got to give the game time and learn how to counter certain things. Like for me, there are rackets that no matter if they hit the other side of the court or not, they're going to go active. So you have like the double racket to where like the moment that you activate it and do like your fever shot, you get a shadow version of yourself and they control themselves. So essentially it's like a 2 versus 1 at that point. So that's going to activate regardless. But then let's say for like the fire racket, once you hit it, if I can go and hit it before it hits my side, I can counter you. And so now your fever response is on your side. So now you're feeling the effects of it. So it's a lot of strategy in this game, bro. And like I said, this by far is Nintendo's best sports game. If you have not played, I wasn't going to pick it up. I really wasn't. And I have to give credit to the fan base that posted every chance they got. And that's what enticed me to go ahead and get it, because I was going to get it eventually. But I went ahead and got it. And man, that's been the best purchase this year, even topping Final Fantasy for me. Like this has been a serious purchase. So me going into the top of this year with Final Fantasy, you got Fever, Tennis, and then now this update for Xenoblade, bro. I'm doing a-okay. I'm all right. Like I'm all right in these streets as far as game is concerned.
Yeah. I mean, we eating good right now. I think most games are eating good if they actually are gamers.
If they're gamers, yeah.
Because we all know time. But all right, Shadow Fox, what you been playing?
Man, everything, because I got to test out. I got to test out this test bench that I finally converted into my gaming PC. Yeah, I mean, have Xeon will travel, right? I just wanted to play around and see if I can do a Xeon Gold with a 5080, and it works pretty well. So, but people for some reason don't understand that they have different pins for RAM pinouts. So people kept asking me, why do I have the 2 RAM slots next to each other? I'm like, that's how some Xeons work. So depending on your motherboard, that's how. But whatever. I guess they thought I just had a regular gaming PC, like just giant Xeon in the middle. But that's different. Anyway, one of my Game of the Year nominees that I keep replaying multiple times is Dispatch. So I highly recommend people play that on Steam Deck or whatever you got, or it got ported to Switch with issues, and I guess it needs to be fixed or whatever they're going to do, because they try to be cheap and only port one version from Japan, so there's no nudity or whatever. But no, that game's really good, and the game part of it is actually really good. Dispatching people based on their powers and level them up and stuff like that. The game part is actually pretty good. Okay. I think people don't worry about the cutscene and the whole, did I make the right choice? No, play the game. Play the game the way it is designed. Because like you're not focusing on the right things at that point. So I really like that part, and I feel like more people should pay attention to that, and that's really good. Obviously, other than that, I'm going through my other nominee for Game of the Year, which would be Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Destructible World. I can't stop breaking shit. It's just
Therapeutic, ain't it?
it is so addicting. I don't know. And then like everybody's in the game too, so you're like, why are all these characters in here? Okay, it's lovely to me. So I really appreciate that game. I really, really think it's really up there. As far as the game of the year for me. And then obviously my favorite game of multiple generations probably is Streets of Rage 4. I don't know why they just keep. I don't know. I keep getting weekly updates and weekly challenges, and I keep doing them because I don't know. Infinite combos or something that effect. I don't know what it is, but I keep playing with Blaze. So please stop having me play with all the different versions of Blaze because I play with all of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I play with all versions of her. So yeah, so I'll be playing that a lot. I want to turn my Xbox back on. It's been a problem lately because I haven't really been on it since the last time I went to go replay Sunset Overdrive after I finished Hi-Fi Rush. So because I was just like I need something else to scratch this itch, so I went back to go play Sunset Overdrive, and that game is so underrated. It really is. People need to play that game, and it's damn near free on Xbox.
Yep.
So if you have Game Pass, it's free. I think it's like $15 if you buy it from the store or something like. And at one point they were literally like just giving the game away for free in bundles and other things, stuff like that too. So I find that game and go play it. It's really good. Other than that, the only other thing that I've been playing is NSO stuff, and I guess I need to either review or do something with this thing. I don't know but at some point I need to do something with this. I don't know. I gotta do something, and I want to try it with both the Switch and the Switch 2 and see how that is. But I'm busy. I got it the same time all the reviewers got it, and I just looked and I'm like, they put up a video within an hour. I'm not doing that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that. Obviously, Xenoblade as well is beautiful. I don't need to say too much else about it. The game looked great in 1080p, so obviously it looks good in 4K. So I'm good with that. The only other thing that I've been kind of eyeing and trying to get ready to play next is finishing my other Game of the Year nominee, and that's Silk Song. So that game is really, really difficult. So you try to plan what your attack is going to be to beat the game. At some point you get to where like I know I need to go here and I need to go here to get these things before I decide I want to go beat the game, right? So I'm kind of at that scenario right now, and I don't know what I want to do. So if you see me online doing that, that's kind of what I'm dealing with. So I'm either playing on my Switch or my Switch 2 or whatever. Like I got accounts all over the place trying to play 50 million different games. So it's just interesting, which I guess it's the unsung hero here too. And that's the virtual game cards. I cannot express how great it is to go from docking on this thing to going to the regular Switch one, and no matter which version of the game that you decide to turn on, it says, hey, it's on this system over here. Do you want to eject that cartridge and put it into this system and then go from there? And it just does it, and you're good. So I haven't had that issue. I've been able to lend to my immediate family, I guess, whoever's in the 8-person group or whatever you have. I'm able to do those, and you loan them for 2 weeks or something like that. It's not even really a big of a deal because if you're in the same house anyway, it's definitely not a big of a deal. But even my oldest son, who doesn't live with me anymore, I'm able to do those kind of things, and then it kind of works. And then after 2 weeks or whatever, it's hey, sign in again to make sure you're able to do whatever, and then he's fine. But within the house, with me having multiple accounts and me signing in with that same account, me going from where I'm sitting right now to upstairs or out here in the living room or in the loft or where I can just go from screen to screen and I don't have to move anything. And that's wonderful to me. And other than Xbox, I have seen various issues getting that to work, even on Steam Deck. So like I have to like
Yeah.
even on Steam, like I have to wait for the saves to sync, wait for the game. And sometimes there's update to the game, and the game update for the Steam Deck isn't the same as the one on my PC, and I gotta wait for them to sync before they sync the save. Like it's a whole thing. And for whatever reason on Switch, it's like nope. And if I decide I want to copy over the DLC plus the game plus my save, all of that's there, and it goes in order. So like it's like, hey, here's the game, hey, here's the DLC, hey, here's the save, and it does it all just like that. So the way Nintendo set that up, that works, man. So I don't know what people are complaining about these $20 a year.
Yeah,
but it's working for me. So that's the unsung hero I would say for the calendar year. Nintendo kind of stepped it up.
one of the games that you mentioned that I want to try is Dispatch. I'll be honest with you. I am one that I am cool that this is censored. I like to play games around my kids, and from what I saw, I'm cool with it being censored. Like, yeah. I don't care to see animated meat just on my screen. I'm cool. I'm cool.
So I think the F-bombs are still there in the censored version, but the nudity is gone, and some of the F-bombs are bleeded out, like weirdly, but not all of them. It's a strange thing. So yeah, I would be wary playing it around children either way.
Okay.
Yeah, either way, I would say just kind of because you don't know what word they're gonna kind of like say out loud.
Oh, so my kids don't hurt at all, but I think it's more the visuals that.
Your visuals, they're gone. It's black bars, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
At least.
Yeah, that's
it's kind of funny anyway. The nudity is kind of funny. It's kind of a joke kind of situation, except for some of the sexual scenes. But the most of it is like a joke. It's a running gag throughout the game.
Okay.
All right, Sandstorm.
First, I want to say, after hearing Shadow also having the problem of trying to complete levels and Donkey Kong Bonanza because of breaking everything.
Yes,
I'm going to say that at this point in time, if we would like to come to a census that for future purposes, to check if a child has ADD or not,
give them that game.
Allow them to play the first level of the game and see how long it takes them to beat it. If you can't beat it within the first 10 minutes, if you're putting in 20 hours like me on before getting to the first actual level, you got ADD.
I think my thing was I need at least 5 bananas before I go to the next level. At least, like bare minimum. Like I can't just run straight through. Yeah.
Yeah. And you'd be like, "Ooh, look at that! Oh, wait! I need these coins." But the coins you don't need coins for that over there. But listen, it's a whole set of coins down here. I need to get them. Just understand. Yeah. So been playing a little bit of Bonanza 2. Red Dead Redemption. Been playing that on Switch too.
Okay.
It's starting to get clunky.
I'm about to say I fell out of it. Yeah.
It's not the system, and it's not the capabilities of the system. More so, that game is kind of dated now. Like it's just clunky overall. I can still play it. I'm still having fun with it. Also, for any of you people who bought Skyrim and got the anniversary edition for Skyrim, they actually just had another big update where it's finally in 60. So huge. That's a huge deal. I haven't got the opportunity to play it. To be honest with you, that doesn't really bother me whether it's in 60 or 30.
The trolls said it went in 60.
So. Wait a minute. I thought that game was in 60 in 2011 when it released.
I think they said what the anniversary one wasn't. So that's my understanding. I don't know. I don't play it.
In 2011, it was also 8K.
In 2011, it released on PS3. So I don't know what you're talking about, Jay.
You know what I'm talking. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
It was
exactly what I'm talking about.
We both have that copy. It's terrible.
It's horrible. But it was supposed to be 6 frames a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been playing that. I've been trying to stay away from it because that game can get addicting if you play it like really the way you want to play it.
Yep.
So I've been staying away. Been playing a little bit of it though. Got back into Cyberpunk.
Okay.
It's weird, man, because these like I've beaten Cyberpunk already, but I still want to go back because I haven't played Phantom Liberty, and so
Okay.
and two, it's almost like I'm playing a completely new game because when I beat it, it was back. I can't even explain it to you. It
When it was
was
broken.
yeah, it was basically a completely different game. Like y'all would never know. Y'all will never understand. But Shadow Mike, because I think you had it about the same time I did.
It was bad when it came out. Yeah, it was bad.
That was across everything, right?
Everything,
yeah,
every
yeah.
platform, even PC.
Yep.
That's crazy.
But you know, the game is great. Tears of the Kingdom, man. If not Donkey Kong Bonanza is definitely Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom to check for ADD because it is so hard to just be like, I'm focused on this. This is what I'm gonna do. I'll even be in the middle of a dungeon, like you know what I mean. Like I'll be up top in the Rudo dungeon and be like, yo, what? Oh man, you know what? I did forget. I did leave the stove on. Let me go get the stove real quick. And that turned into a whole different adventure. You know what I mean? Those games I have a huge love-hate for, but it every time, like every time you got a plan and that plan gets scrapped by the simplest, what is that? And then it turns into something else. So man. And so I've been playing that also. I actually now this one I picked up and I picked up because I had some money left from Valentine's Day. And I mean cards as my wife got me some V-Day cards along with my birthday cards. And so I'm like, you know what? I've been really hankering for a golf game. While I have the best golf game, Tiger Woods 08 on the Wii, ain't nothing better. I'm like, you know, I do crave for some like more immersion as far as like graphical fidelity. And I caved and I got 2K25 for Switch 2.
That was a mistake.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? And listen, this is how I justify my mistakes, right?
Okay.
So I bought it once. I
Mhm.
bought it once off the strength that in the future, now hear me out now. In the future, when you make a 26 or 27 or 28, you ain't gonna forget about little old me, and you're gonna add the motion control like you're supposed to do in the first place.
Okay.
I'm
you
just
know what you're
telling
talking
you.
about. All right.
And you're not gonna add it to the VC. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just hoping that because the game is all right, but let's face it, like there's not gonna be any better game until you get the motion controls down. And they don't have motion controls for that game, which I think is a huge miss. I don't understand. No, I'm not trying to take way away from what I've been playing lately, but there's some things in the gaming industry that seem so obvious that it's like, but why? Like, why would you or would you not do that? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like Call of Duty on the
Wii U.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pip Boy. I don't know.
Call of Duty on the Switch.
Yeah. But you'll notice the trend though, Sandstorm. Note who makes the golf game you got.
Oh, 2K and Take-Two. Yeah.
Now who makes 2 Point Museum?
Yeah.
Now 2 Point Museum, they were asked 1,000 freaking times, why did you not put mouse controls in this? We'll revisit it later.
Later.
The dirty port. Just say the dirty port. Just say it.
That's so wild to me.
You have a game that's about creating a museum that's point and click, and you don't do mouse mode
and no mouse mode. And you know, it's wild to me. Now, I would understand if you was like EA and you put the playbook on the second screen, on the second controller, and that game didn't really sell well. I understand. You put a lot of work into it. We wasn't messing with it. You want to take it away? That's
Man,
perfectly
13
fine.
Man 13 was great, by the way. Man 13 was great. I'm sorry. I'm here. I got my copy.
But it don't make no sense if you like, you know what? Let's put this everywhere. And let's put this on another system. And you know what people are going to buy? Something that actually is interactive like that. Motion controls. You know what I'm saying? Not even an afterthought. That's the worst part. You could have even had the most clunkiest, and I would have complained about it. You could have put a software update or what have you for it later. Nothing.
Mm-mm.
It's just crazy to me. So, but nonetheless, I picked that up, and it's a good pastime little game. Been playing Pokemon ZA. I feel like I'm getting closer. But judging off of judging off of Jack's numbers of his Pokemon, I ain't nowhere near done. He talking about I ain't getting the DLC because they talk about high numbers. And in my head, I'm like, what numbers is he talking about? He like 97, 98. Like my people's just evolved like last week. Nah, I ain't ready. I ain't ready.
Your roster got to be nasty to get in that DLC, boy. You got to have a few hundred on you. You got to have a few C notes on you, boy, because you walking there with 100 you want to. That'd be the last time you see that Pokemon.
Right.
Permadeath, and it ain't even in the game.
Like, come on out. Nope. Nope. I already did that. Nope. Why isn't he releasing out of his Pokeball? I don't know. I don't understand.
I'm cool
because I got that butt whooping. Right. I ain't gonna be back no more. You ain't even gonna see me for breakfast. Yeah. So, been playing that. I've stayed away from Diablo, which is good. They made the announcement of the Warlock, and I didn't even realize that. I also want to say that too. Kudos to Blizzard. I don't give y'all too many kudos, but kudos to Blizzard for putting a new character in a very old game. I'm talking, this game is what, 26 years old? Diablo 2?
It's been out for a minute.
Yeah, and it's an old game. I mean, obviously the remaster or the remake isn't as old, but throwing the Warlock into Diablo 2 was huge. Unfortunately, that's the same character that they were going to be showing off in April is also the Warlock, which is like, I was hoping that it'd be something else, but
all I did was Google search that, and I saw the instant results of the Warlock in Diablo 2, and I'm already crying over here. Like,
yeah,
people already tried the most.
Yeah. I'm not. I'll even say I did play him for a little bit, and I'm just like, there's not really any hype to it. I don't know if it's because I'm over Diablo 2, because we played it a bazillion times, or if it's just that character in particular who's just like, meh, nothing special.
And if you already maxed the game out, you already know what you're about to do with the Warlock. Like, you're gonna max it out too. So
it like your moves pretty much the same all through all the characters. So but yeah. And I feel like I've been playing one more game. I got back into Fallout 4 solely because of the show.
Okay. I was just gonna ask that. Like,
yep. It
got me hooked too.
Yeah, it was mostly because of the show. And I stay away from New Vegas. Did not buy New Vegas even when they put it on discount. I'm not a fan of New Vegas. But jumping back into that game and then thinking about the whole, Switch 2 version, like, man, I really hope that game turns out better when it finally releases, which is in like what, this week? Next week?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's probably gonna be janky when it launches, and then they'll patch it.
Yeah.
Sounds about Bethesda.
Yeah.
Or don't wait at all, because I may not even just pick it up. I don't know. Does it come with all the DLC?
Yes, it does. It's going to be the gold edition or whatever they're doing.
Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll wait. I'll think about it. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. I think overall I'm probably going to go back to Zelda and just make Zelda like my week. so I can get that out of the way. The backlog is just like piling up like crazy. Still, I don't know. Y'all can't see it. Oh, I've also been playing Final Fantasy VII as well. But I know y'all can't see it, but it's the one at the end. I have still yet to open up the Age of Imprisonment. Like that's
wow.
Me too.
Yeah.
I haven't opened it either.
Okay.
And I'm
late to the party. I need to play that.
So
Yeah.
we need to do a podcast on just sealed games.
it's weird.
I wouldn't have
I don't
nothing to
have
say
it.
in that one. I don't have any of those.
That's why it's crazy to me.
I got a bunch.
I don't ever leave my game sealed unless it's something special. Like I got the Final Fantasy VII the remake, the one that had the Magic the Gathering card. This one's still sealed.
Okay.
So then I got the digital one just to actually play. So somewhere down the road, if this is worth anything, I don't even know if I really sell it. But I don't leave games sealed. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Like you pick up a game, you buy the game. But Age of Imprisonment, that boy is still sitting there.
I still got a current pile. I just have piles of sealed ones. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just have them, and I probably should play them at some point. Like even this one, the one that everybody hates, I need to play them. I'm sorry, but it's a problem.
It's funny. I think I told Vito this. It's funny because a lot of times I'll like go to like some of these games and I'll be like, man, what do I want to play today? And then my first thought is like, you never even open that. You could open that and play that today. And you look at it and you be like,
yep.
Do I want to?
Nah, not today. Not today. It ain't a good day. I'll save it for a different day. Save it for a rainy day. And then you just move on from it and it just still sits on the shelf.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
All right, peeps. We are going to call it a night. So thank you guys for coming through. We appreciate it. Thank you everybody in chat. I know we had 2 weeks off for the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day, but we are back. I don't think we have another off time until May, I think.
Yeah,
it's like May. So
Memorial Day probably.
Yeah, Memorial Day. So
time.
We're gonna be here for the long haul, peeps. So we're gonna call it an evening. We will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out, people.
Peace.
Peace out.